cursive handwriting evolved from the italic calligraphy hand. Only a slight few of early Americans could write, but those who could used roundhand, also called copper plate. The original Declaration of Independence was written in copper plate, roundhand. Cursive handwriting was the first form of writing children were taught in schools after they learned to read. The purpose of my speech is to persuade my audience that cursive handwriting should be taught in schools again. Cursive handwriting is useful and unique in many ways. It can help students with disabilities. It is helpful to people suffering with some mental health problems, and it authenticates with confidence a person's identity. Cursive handwriting can be very helpful to students who have certain disabilities. Some children have a tough time using their hands and have very little eye coordination. By learning cursive writing, the brain learns how to track and visualize things. As many as 2 million children in the United States have dyslexia, a reading, writing, and spelling disorder. Using cursive handwriting is beneficial to children with dyslexia because it consists of one motion. The letters flow more easily when using print, while using print requires many fine motions. It can also help children with dyslexia with a decoding process by integrating hand and eye coordination. PBS.org in May of 2012 stated that some people are using cursive writing as a form of therapy for children with dyslexia. Learning this also helps their overall mental health. Cursive handwriting can also be good for a person's mental well-being. By learning cursive handwriting, it can help strengthen fine motor skills, such as basic grasp, and can involve the coordination of smaller muscle movements. There are many complex skills that are involved in cursive handwriting. Some of these include visual perception skills, visual motor skills, following a sequence, tracking the movement of hand, and tracking the movement of the hand, pencil, and paper. Your brain is made up of many parts. These parts include the frontal lobe, the temporal lobe, the spinal cord, the parietal lobe, the occipital lobe, and the cerebellum. Learning cursive handwriting activates the parts of the brain needed to help with reading. The left parietal lobe is responsible for your reading, writing, and arithmetic. Family Education stated that in 2012, a study by a psychologist at Indiana University found that a 5-year-old girl stimulated key parts of her brain that are needed to read by writing out just simple phrases. When they scanned the girl's brain as she was writing, it showed the act as if she was drawing it on a blank sheet of paper. It also showed parts of the brain that were activated that adults use when they read and write. When you write in cursive, it authenticates who you are. Many people who write or even read in cursive view it as a form of art. The placement and flow of their letters makes cursive handwriting unique to every person. Every person has their own style of writing. Today, cursive writing is used in investigations as a document, such as a document that was forged. Every person has a unique way they print and write. It can be used to see how a person writes a certain word or phrase. There are many features that authenticate a person's handwriting. These include letter formation, size, and slope of handwriting. All these things investigators use to distinguish a certain person from another. For example, say a person had a check with their name as if they had endorsed it, but it wasn't their handwriting. Investigators would have both parties sign the name in cursive, and whoever matched with the evidence would be guilty. You also need to know cursive handwriting for when you have to sign legal documents. Signing your name on a legal document is basically like sealing the document so that nothing can be done to change it. For instance, you must sign your name when you write your will out, stating that your valuables and belongings and where they go. Once you have signed your name, it is looked upon as a more important document, and things will be done like stated in the will than if it wasn't signed. In conclusion, if we bring back cursive handwriting in schools again, it can help students with disabilities, help people with mental health issues, and it can authenticate who people are.